The weather was hot and scorching, and a bloody war had started between the Prophet's army and the leaders of Quraysh. The Muslims were proud of the victory in the War of Badr, whilst the leaders of Quraysh were full of hatred and anger. They were determined to defeat the Muslims in this war. Suddenly, Abu Amr started shouting, "Pits! Dig the pits so that the Muslims fall into the hole!" Abu Sufyan laughed and said to one of the leaders, "Look, this is the man who was preaching Muhammad's religion a few years ago, and just a bit of money and power has turned him against his prophet." The enemy fought hard against the Muslim army. However, the Muslims won the war and hence gained more power. Abu Amr, who saw himself in danger, fled from Medina and sought refuge in Rome. When he reached Rome, he went to visit Heracles, the Roman king. Abu Amr told him, "You should prepare your army for war with the Muslims. If you don't act now, the Muslims will become more powerful, and then it will be impossible to defeat them, and you might lose your precious crown. My spies have reported that Arabs and other tribes may pledge allegiance to Muhammad if he attacks. We cannot start a war with them. It's too dangerous," Heracles said. Abu Amr shook his head and said, "That's right, but to win this war, we must divide the Muslims and turn them against each other, and once Muhammad loses a strong faithful army, we attack." Heracles smiled and said, "I like this plan. I will prepare my army for battle." Later, in a letter to his friends, he wrote, "I made a covenant with the king of Rome to help him in any way possible, and he has also pledged to take Medina with a large and equipped army. You, my friends, should penetrate and create division among the Muslims, but be cautious and stay safe." When Abu Amr's letter reached his friends, they made a plan and went to visit the Prophet. They asked him to allow them to build a mosque for Bani Salim. They said, "Some old men and women can't come to the Quba mosque in Medina. They need a mosque that's closer to them." The Prophet agreed, and they quickly built the mosque, but only a few people went to the mosque. The propaganda was useless, and that mosque didn't prosper and was ignored. Abu Amr concluded that if the Prophet came once and prayed there, that mosque would be crowded like the Quba mosque, and then they would go along with the original plan. Later, they visited the Prophet. However, the Prophet and his companions were going to Tabuk. The Prophet said to them, "I am leaving for my journey, but when I come back, I will visit your mosque and pray there." Sometime later, the Prophet returned from Tabuk. He was near the gate of Medina when Abu Amr's friends came to him and said, "Now that you have returned safely from the trip, we ask you to come to our mosque and pray there." The Prophet was about to say yes to their invitation when a verse was revealed to him, "Never worship in that mosque." The revelation ruined Abu Amr's plan. The Prophet realized that the mosque was to become a place of division and dissension among the Muslims and was built to weaken their faith. He ordered that the mosque be set on fire immediately and the city garbage should be dumped there. The Muslims quickly went to the mosque and destroyed it. Abu Amr's friends just stood and watched the mosque burn. Then they returned to their homes and wrote this news to Abu Amr, and Abu Amr died from grief after reading this news. After the destruction of that mosque, God revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, "It is better to worship in a mosque built on the basis of piety than a mosque built on the basis of division." The mosque in Medina had these characteristics, so it flourished and became a place of peace and unity among the people. The Prophet always prayed there, and after his death, he was buried in the same mosque. The weather was scorching hot. It was as if it were raining fire from the sun, and the sand was so hot it was impossible to stand on. The Hajj pilgrims had reached the land of Ghadir Khum. This was the last pilgrimage of the Prophet. On this trip, Muslims accompanied the Prophet not only from Medina but from most of the land of Hijaz. Ghadir Khum was like a crossroad where the people bid farewell to each other and went on their separate paths. Some were heading north to Medina, some to the west to Egypt, and some to the east to Iraq. When the pilgrims reached the land of Ghadir, suddenly the caravan's guards shouted, "Everyone stop! The Prophet ordered us to stop!" Some of the guards quickly went on their horses and asked those who were ahead and those who had fallen behind to return to Ghadir Khum. Everyone was asking each other, "Why has the Prophet asked us to stop here?" The guards told the crowd, "The Prophet wants to pray and deliver a sermon." It was Thursday, the 10th day of the migration, 8 days after Eid al-Adha. When the prayer was over, everyone wanted to set up small tents, but the Prophet informed them that the people need to hear a new message from God. A crowd gathered around the Prophet. Everyone wanted to hear the Prophet's sermon and the message of God directly from the Prophet. The crowd was very large and many could not see the Prophet. Some people took action and made a pulpit from the saddles of the camels. The Prophet stood on the pulpit. He first thanked the Lord and then began his sermon. "I will soon leave this earth and go to the next world. Do you testify that I have been a good prophet to you?" The people said with a loud voice, "We bear witness that you have fulfilled your duty and your mission, and have delivered the message of the Lord, and have fulfilled the condition of benevolence. You have done your best to guide and enlighten us." The Prophet once again said, "Do you hear my voice?" Everyone shouted, "Yes, we do." The Prophet said, "What are you going to do with the two precious things that I am giving to you?" Some people asked, "What are the two most valuable things?" The Prophet immediately said, "The first is the Book of Allah, and the second is my family." The Prophet invited Imam Ali up onto the pulpit and raised his hand and said, "As for each one who has taken me as his master, Ali is now his master," and he repeated this saying 3 times. "Lord, be a supporter of anyone who supports him, and the enemy of anyone who opposes him. O people, truth is always with Ali, and Ali is with the truth." When the sermon ended, there was a stir among the pilgrims. Everyone, including Abu Bakr and Umar, congratulated Imam Ali, and after a while, the caravan left for Medina.